Hey y'all, it's Melissa here at Twin Oaks Family Farm in rural Southeast Ohio, USA, doing another Let's Get Back to Gardening video back here in the backyard. And two of the things that my family wants to grow this year are lettuce and sunflowers. So we're trying to start them kind of in containers, more or less, in a raised bed. And our purpose for the raised bed isn't so much to raise the work surface up, but more to have kind of a border or barrier that has enough height to keep bunny rabbits out of it. We have tons and tons of bunny rabbits in our backyard, and they're always helping themselves to anything that we try to grow. So of course seedlings and any little tender starts are just a buffet for them. So we do have just a little bit of a raised bed, and it is just, let me turn the camera around. So it's just treated lumber and these cornerstones that are grooved to fit a piece of lumber in, and then there's a metal stake in there to kind of, anchor that. You can get that driven down into the ground. Now, I will mention on the lumber, I know I've read treated lumber is not recommended if you're gonna have it around a food plot, because chemicals from it could leach into the soil there in your food plot. So so I don't know, if you're having a raised bed similar to this and you don't want treated lumber, I can understand that. I don't know what alternatives. I suppose just untreated lumber would be the alternative. My husband wanted the treated lumber because of course it's subject to the elements and he wants it to last as long as possible. So that's why we used it. But we this year, I don't know if we're going to be putting food in these plots anyway, food plants, but we might. And so that's just what we use. That doesn't mean that that's what somebody has to use. But we just got these materials at a large home improvement store. And there's lots of large home improvement stores and small independent hardware stores and lumber yards all around our country, the United States of America, and all around the world. So you can get your materials where they're available and where you want to support with your dollars. But what I want to look at is the lettuce that we've started and the sunflowers that we've started, and run the watering tip by you that we're using to help water the little seedlings and keep them thriving. So here where I live, this is rural Southeast Ohio, USA, and I'm going to take a seat back down here again. And here where I live, our rule of thumb is kind of don't plan on being frost free until after Mother's Day. So we're talking like, second week of May, almost middle of May. And that's kind of a long time when the weather is starting to improve, at least in patches, and you're wanting to get started, with seedlings or out in your garden or working in the dirt. So it's really hard to wait on our great growing season here. But we have kind of got to the point where we used to try to start things early. We'd start them indoors, but then it was such a lag between the time we started them and the time we could plant them. A lot of things would get so leggy and, get that additional height and then, not have a strong stem. So then we kind of got to where we just are like, the best course is to just work with nature, and we can plant outside when we can plant outside. But the lettuce, should be a cool season crop, so we should be okay with it. We've got 2 flats of it started. And then the sunflowers, I think we're kind of pushing a little bit this year to try to start them. I think I started them end of March, maybe very beginning of April, probably end of March, because I'm really anxious to grow them. But we went ahead and started them like in little plastic containers that we had got strawberries from the local FFA in, and we're kind of using those as miniature greenhouses to kind of help the sunflowers. So we've had mild weather the last couple days, and the sunflower seedlings have started. We've been able to open those up and let the sunflowers, just be in the ambient conditions. But if the temperatures drop, I can see that ahead of time, in the forecast, and I can close those up, and they function like little greenhouses to, keep some heat in, to trap some warmth for them. So that's what we're trying to do. So we're just trying to do the lettuce and the sunflowers there. So going to take a look. look at those. And I hope that y'all are doing great. If you're starting some seeds, some plants, let us know what you're doing in your gardens. Let us know what you want to grow this year. Another couple things that I really, really want to grow this year, and I feel like, well, I know one of them we could get started, but I feel like we could get started, but you know, it might come back to bite us. So potatoes, we really like to harvest potatoes and try to preserve some potatoes by canning, and it takes a long time. It's pretty work intensive to can potatoes, but it's so worth it, and they're so wonderful. And we also love green beans. So I think I do want to try to go, I know potatoes we could start. We need to find a new place for them. I think we want to change where we've been growing them. But green beans, we would usually wait a little longer, but I think I may try to brainstorm a way to start some in the next couple weeks. So anyway, welcome back here. Glad that you're here. But let's just look real quick at how the lettuce and the sunflowers is doing. So the sunflower seedlings have definitely sprouted, okay? And so like I said, we've had these open, but we can close these up and pinch them closed there if we think the weather's gonna get real cool. But this has been something really helping me when you have, like you're trying to start seedlings, you know, and you don't want to dump a lot of water on them because you don't want to flush the seeds out of your soil or your growing medium. And even when you get these tender ones started, like that one's pretty dry. I don't want to dump, you know, a big bunch of water on there. I could just pour it out. Sorry, that's having trouble dealing with the picture there, focusing. But I could just pour from a little bottle or something in there. But this is something I like to do with our seedlings is, I'm trying to get that, hold my hand at the right angle to get the water to come out. I like to just use a little water sprayer, and then it just makes a gentle mist. You know, it's just water, and just makes a gentle mist on the seedlings. Okay, and I know we don't want to like saturate our seed starts themselves with a bunch of water because we don't want anything kind of mildewy to grow on them, but we do want them to get some water, and we definitely want to hydrate the roots down in the soil. So I like to use something like this because, especially like here where my lettuce seeds haven't started yet, I don't want to flush them out of there. So anyway, tell me what you think of that tip. Do y'all do anything like that? But this lettuce is going good. Probably need to thin it out a little bit, I guess. And what we pull out, I think we could wash and eat as microgreens. There are different varieties in there, so we have some coming in. So I probably will try to thin some of those out without disturbing the roots of what we want to leave. But these sunflowers are doing good. So there's some Ring of Fire sunflowers back there. And then these are like a specialty sunflower for cutting for bouquets. So they are pollenless or have very little pollen that's going to fall off of them. So Pro Cut Gold Light is that one. We have a couple different varieties, but anyway, so thanks for joining us. So we're going to keep doing some little garden projects here, and if you have lots and lots to spray, you could get a big sprayer, like the big sprayer tank with the handheld wand, you know. So you could do something like that instead, but this works for me for the size of what I'm doing here. I can fill this once and get through really all of these little sunflower starts and all these lettuce starts. So I'm just using that for now, but let us know what you're going to be gardening. Let us know what part of the world you're in, and when you can consider your area frost-free. Here in rural Southeast Ohio, USA, we can't really consider it frost-free until about Mother's Day. So that's what we tend to go by. So thanks so much for joining us. I just love sunflowers. I can't wait to see these. I'm going to try to plant them. We'll transplant them, try to plant them in rows, maybe up by our meat bird barn. And something cool about sunflowers is they do help to improve the soil wherever you plant them. I have read that if soils kind of have a heavy load of metal particles in it, that sunflowers kind of neutralize that. So if anybody knows anything about that, would you put it in comments and help us learn about it too. So hey, thanks for joining us at Twin Oaks Family Farm on Twin Oaks Farm Poultry. We hope that you'll join us again, and please Support local farmers wherever local is for you. God bless y'all.